Hello and welcome to another NBK Design video tutorial. I am Annika, one of the creative team members from NBK Design. The products you will see in this video were received free of charge as part of my free creative team work for NBK Design, and the photo is from Pexels. Today I want to talk with you about luminosity masks. Luminosity means brightness, and the luminosity mask is based on the brightness of the highlights of an image, and we can create those luminosity masks. Go to your first we make a copy, Control or Command J, and then go to Channels and click and hold Control or Command and click in the thumbnail of the RGB channel, and now you can see Photoshop made a selection of the bright parts in an image which are more than 50% gray. And now we go to our mask icon and we apply a mask, and we rename this Highlight 1. So this is our first luminosity mask, and we can narrow the selection more and more to the brighter parts in an image, and Photoshop will do this for us. We only need to select our highlight level. It's already selected. And now press Ctrl Shift Alt and click in the thumbnail of the highlight and apply a mask. And now you can see the selection is to the next level of the brightness in this image. This is our first highlight, and let's name this Highlight 2. And you can go on, just Control and click in your highlight, and then Control Shift Alt and again click in the highlight, and you can see the selection gets smaller and smaller, and apply a mask, and this is Highlight 3. So now we have three luminosity masks from our highlights. If we start with the first one and we want to see the selection, just Control or Command and click in the thumbnail so you can see the range of the selection. And if we Control and click in the next, you can see this is selected, and in the last we have this little selection. So now you can choose which mask you want to use. I will increase the contrast and darken a little bit the sky, so I will use my Highlight 1 and I select this, Control or Command, and just click in the thumbnail of your highlight. And now make your RGB layer active and go to Layers, and here apply a mask. Just click the mask icon, and now you can see your selection is now in this mask here. If we click Alt and in the mask, you can see your luminosity mask. And we go back, and now make your photo active, and we go to Filter and we go to Camera Raw Filter. Here we go to FX and we increase the haze. So we want to give the sky and the brighter parts in this image a little bit more contrast, and we want to darken it a little bit. You can play with the colors here. And with the contrast a little bit, and clarify, and click OK. Before and after, and you can see, because we have a luminosity mask, this area with the trees here in front of the photo is not affected. Only the brightest parts in this image are affected, and this is why we use luminosity mask. Let's make a copy again, and let's go to filter and camera raw filter. If we want to increase the contrast of the sky and we want to darken it like before, we can do this again. And let's play with the contrast and the clarity and click OK. And you can see the whole image is affected by our changes, also this tree in front, and we don't want the trees in front of the photo darker. We wanted only the sky, and this is why we use this luminosity masks. So now let's go back to our channels. We have 3 highlights here, and now we also can select the shadows. And to select the shadow, it's very easy. Just make your highlight layer active and drag it to the new layer icon here. And we have a copy of our highlight. And now we want the shadows. Just click Ctrl or Command I, and we have our shadow 1. Now the shadow is selected. The same with our highlight 2. Drag it to the new layer, Ctrl or Command I, and we have our shadow 2. And the same again with our highlight 3. Drag it to the new layer, Ctrl or Command I, and we have our shadow 3. And now we need our midtones. For this we activate our RGB channel. Make sure nothing is selected. If something is selected, just press Ctrl or Command D. Then we select all of the image, Ctrl or Command A. And now to get the midtones, we need to subtract the highlights and the shadows. And to do this, we click and hold Ctrl or Command Alt, and we click our highlight 1 and the shadow 1. We get a warning, but this is okay, and apply a mask. And these are the midtones. And we can go on with midtone 2 and 3. So make the RGB layer active, Ctrl or Command A to select all, and now Ctrl Alt and highlight 2 and subtract shadow 2. We get this warning, just click OK, apply a mask, and we have our midtones 2. And for 3 it's the same. So let's now choose our shadow 3. If we want the selections, just click Ctrl or Command and click in the thumbnail of the shadow. Then make your RGB channel active and go back to layers and apply a mask. And I forgot to make a copy, so I make the copy now, but without my mask. So this is, I will hide this for the moment, and in the mask you can see what is selected and what will be affected. And now go to your filter and camera raw filter, and now we want to darken a little bit the trees here in front, and let's make it a little bit more orange, and the contrast and the clarity. Okay. And now you can see, sorry, we darken a little bit our shadows. And what else we can do, if we make a copy, and now let's choose the midtones. If you get this warning, it's okay. And then we apply the mask, Now we have our midtone mask here. And now we go to our styles and let's try how it will look if we apply a style. You can see here are the areas which are affected from our midtones. You can make a little texture. Yes, you can see there's a little bit of texture now, before and after. So this is only that I want to show you that you can also apply a style in this luminosity mask. Let's try another one. Controller Command J. Let's go back to our channels and let's choose highlight 3. Controller Command and click in the, or no, I will shadow 3. Controller Command and click shadow 3, and then we apply the mask and let's try another style. Yeah, this looks fine. I like this. And if we rasterize this layer, rasterize layer style, we can change the blend mode. Yeah, this looks nice with this red mountains, but I will color burn. Yes, I like color burn. So if we now put all this layer in a group, you can see the before and the after. And if you want to edit something, erase something, apply just a regular mask and change the foreground color to black. Go to a brush and make the opacity, and you can start and bring back some of the original photos if you don't want. And this is how you can use the luminosity mask created at the channels here. So now I want to show you another way how to use luminosity mask. If we go back to our channels and for example we choose highlight 1, controller command and click in the thumbnail, and then go back to your layers. Always make sure your RGB channel layer is active and go to layers. And now we can apply an adjustment level, for example curves. We have our luminosity mask here in this level, in this layer, and then we can increase the contrast. But the problem here is it affects the whole photo, as you can see. Not only the sky gets darker, but also the trees here. And this is the problem if we use adjustment layers with the channel. So I will show you another way how you can use luminosity masks. We apply a curves level and we click in the thumbnail of the mask and go to select and color range, and here you can select highlights, midtones and shadows. The same thing what we did with channels, but the difference is if we apply a luminosity mask with the channel, Photoshop decides which areas were selected. And with the color range, we have much more possibilities to refine the area we want to select with the range. So make sure quick mask is selected here, because with that what is red is not selected and what is visible is selected. So every changes and every editing we will make on this photo are visible. So with the fuzziness I can make the edges smoother, and with the range I can select the area I want to edit. So we start again with the sky, and now we click this icon here, and now we can make, and it only affects the area I selected, not the trees in the front of the image. So now you can make your selection, your editing. And again, you can apply as much adjustment layer as you want. You can now make, let's make hue and saturation. Again, click in the mask icon here and go to select and color range. And now let's select the shadows. What is red is not selected. And okay. And go to this icon here that you have your sliders, and let's colorize it. So let's change, yes. And if you don't want the mountains in this violet, just click the mask, make sure black is the foreground color, and you can erase. And let's apply a color balance, for example, and let's select the midtones. For the midtones you have two sliders, because midtones are between the shadows and the highlights. Red is what is not affected, and what is visible will be affected. Okay, then we go and let's make our mountains, yes, yellow. So I think you get an idea what you can do. Let's group this. And now you can see we changed the image completely. And again, if you don't like something, apply a mask, make sure black is the foreground color, choose a soft brush, and you can brush over those areas you don't want to edit. Okay. So this is another way how you can use luminosity masks. I hope you get an idea what you can do, and you will try this luminosity mask. You have so much possibilities what you can do. You can apply styles in these masks. It's always worth to try it. And if you rasterize this layer, and you can play with the blend modes, and also the opacity, and now look how beautiful this is. So you have millions of possibilities how to edit your photo. I hope you enjoyed the video, and to see you next time. Bye.